What's up everyone, Adam from Cape Crawlers, and today I'm going to be giving you an exclusive first look at some brand new upgrades from Little Guy Racing Parts. So Little Guy Racing Parts has been cranking out the awesome upgrades for our mini crawlers lately, and I've got my hands on some exclusive products that aren't even on the market yet, but I've been given the green light to share them with you guys, so we're going to dive into them in this video. I'm going to take a look at 4 new upgrades from Little Guy Racing Parts. 2 of which are already out and available for you to buy right now, 2 of which are still prototypes that I'm very fortunate to have my hands on to be able to do some testing. So we're going to be doing a deeper dive into all of these, and I'm really pumped to show them to you. We're going to be looking at the brand new Mini Swamp King tires. We're going to be looking at the brand new Tremor Servo. We're going to be looking at the X Factor body, and we're going to be checking out the prototype limiting strap setup. So Little Guy Racing Parts is not paying me to make this video whatsoever. I'm just very fortunate to have a great relationship with those guys, and they are one of the companies that I truly believe is changing the game in the mini crawler market. If they were a publicly traded company, I would be throwing every last cent I had into buying their stock because they are on the gas right now. So these products are just a sign of things to come from them, and I'm really excited to jump into them. So let's take a look and see what we got. First up, why don't we take a look at these tires? These are the brand new prototype Mini Swamp Kings. Now I did feature these in the Warthog build video, but I figured we'd look at these tires specifically in this video, and I can also give you some of my feedback now that I've had them for a few weeks and put some significant time on them. So I like these Swamp Kings. They have a great compound. They grip fantastic. The compound has really worn in nice. They are super soft and grippy. I think they've worn in and they feel even softer than the bigger Swamp Kings do. This is running the foams that come in the tire as well, so as you can see they're very soft and pliable. They conform really well to obstacles. Very, very happy with these tires. These are 57 millimeters by 22 millimeters. So it's a great size if you're looking for a more scale look to your build, and if you don't want to do a lot of body modifications or supporting modifications to fit these tires on. They will bolt right up to a Traxxas TRX 4M, no problem, and will fit most SCX24s with some light modifications, or no mods at all in some cases. But just a great tire. I'm really excited for these to hit the market. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from these tires. They have held up extremely well and perform great in virtually every situation that I've put them in. They work fantastic. The Warthog is an animal with these tires on it. They fit the build perfectly. I've had these on my SCX24 Bronco as well. They performed exceptional on that build too. So a great all-around tire that I'm really happy with. I generally prefer larger tires, as you guys probably know, but I'm getting more and more into the scale builds, and these are a great option if that's what you're looking to do. So excellent tire. These should drop at the time of this recording. They are still prototypes. These are 4 of the 5 tires in existence of this model, but these should be dropping soon. I believe we are approximately 3 to 4 weeks at the time of this recording. So stay tuned for these for sure. This is a great tire. Next, let's take a look at the new Servo that they just dropped. So this is the Tremor Servo. So I didn't see this one coming. It popped up and showed up very quickly. But this is a great new servo available from Little Guy Racing Parts. This is a coreless servo. Comes with the aluminum horn. I love that. I so appreciate that. Any manufacturer that sends the aluminum horn with these things, I so love it. That's great. Great look to it. It's got the black coating on it and the unfinished aluminum edges all throughout. Very nice looking. Got the LGRP on the front. Tremor written right across. This thing's pretty powerful. I'm anxious to try this in a build. So the torque and speed ratings on this thing, at 6 volts it's capable of 111 ounces of torque, and speed at that voltage is 0.106 seconds. At 7.4 volts it's capable of 131 ounces. Speed is 0.085 seconds. And at 8.4 volts, which is the max, you've got 152 ounces of torque. Speed is 0.074 seconds. We are going to put this in a build today. I'm going to see if it will fit in our Ultra 24 build. So I'll be able to run it at 6.5 volts, I think, is what I'll be able to get with the Lizard Pro. But in any case, that should still give us a good indication of speed. Sharp new servo I'm looking forward to trying. Next up, let's take a look at the body. So we got the X Factor body that just came out a couple weeks ago, I think now, at the time of this recording. This new Toyota style body. Now this comes clear and then you paint it yourself. Doesn't come with stickers or anything on it, or at least mine doesn't have stickers on it, but Little Guy Racing Parts has since released a decal sheet for this that has your headlights, your grille, your tail lights, your accent pieces that I think will really make this really pop and look a lot better. So I'm going to order the sticker sheet as soon as I can. What I did is I opted for a bright red paint scheme. I did some white in the back. I'm still working on my masking, as you guys know, so this came out not perfect. It's good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a cool looking body. It's got good lines. It's a longer body. You know, it is a pickup truck style body, and it seems to fit the Gladiator the best. You know, I look at the wheelbase of the Gladiator, it fits it perfectly. If you were going to put it on a C10 or even a deadbolt, I think you'd be running into clearance issues with the fender wells right here, and you might have to do some trimming, or you might have to stretch your wheelbase. But just looking at this body, it seems to be perfectly suited for a Gladiator wheelbase, which is what we've got here. I need to fix my stance. I'm pretty raked out, and I think I could probably solve that just by changing my shock position. But you know, I get it leveled out, it should look really nice. But sharp looking body. How I mounted this, I did Velcro in the front, and then I used my Gladiator rear hinge here. I just screwed the bumper on the back and utilized the stock hinge. So that's how I was able to get it to fit. And because it's basically tailor-made for a Gladiator wheelbase, it fit right on the chassis, no problem at all. It's got a nice low slammed look to it. Again, I just got to sort out the back there. Also on this build, I'm experimenting with the brand new prototype limiting strap setup from Little Guy Racing Parts. This is a very cool upgrade that mounts between your servo and your servo tray, fits right over the top of it, and has these anchoring points for your limiting strap. Now you choose your own strap. Now I use the rubber bands. If you follow me for a while, you know that's my preferred method. So this gives me anchoring points for my rubber bands here and go up around my body posts really easily, which works great. But it gives you the option to choose your own strap. Does not come with a strap. It's just this little bracket, then you do the rest. But you could use fishing line, rubber bands like I do. You could use anything that you want for your strap. You've got the options there. And then how this works is that you loop it around your anchor point, mount it, and it holds it down tight onto the servo. It doesn't go anywhere. And it's center mounted, so you've still got all of the side-to-side articulation, not limited whatsoever, but controls your axle drop significantly. So this is a game changer. This is great. Really looking forward to that. I will show you this thing in action in a little bit. This, again, is the only one in existence. I'm very fortunate to have this to be able to test and demo for you guys. These will be coming out, I think, in a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit more at the time of this recording. I'm super pumped to have this and try it out. So why don't we get this on the course? I'm going to show you guys this in action. All right, let's take a look at the X Factor Gladiator. I love the rear of this thing, how it sits. The body looks so good from the back. I just got to get that front to sit slammed like that. I love it. This Gladiator has been like my flagship build. So it was really tough to get rid of that body, but I like the X Factor one, I gotta say. It's nice to have a cool change. And since I've done my scale build, I feel less pressure to keep the body on this one. Although I'll definitely hang on to it and kind of go back and forth. Look at that craziness. All right, let's try Hell's Gate here. Understeered there, lost my line, but definitely didn't get any front end lift there with that limiting strap on. So here's a good example there. It keeps that nice and tight, no lift at all from that front end there, even though this is a crazy vertical there. Keeps it under control. Love it. Perfect setup. So I'm going to do another demonstration of our limiting strap setup here. So I've got the crawler park table. We're going to test the vertical climb here and see when this unloads. So first I'm going to undo my limiting strap, and we'll test it, and then we'll redo the strap and see how it does. So you can see I've completely freed my strap up here. Put the body back on. Now let's see where we get in terms of vertical on this thing. Starting to unload right there. 45 degrees. It's about 48 to 50. We're done right there. Now let's put the straps back together and we'll try it again. Okay, straps are re-engaged here. Let's give this a shot. It's 45. No unloading at all there. 55. Starting to slide off right there. I'm hitting the bumper on the back right there at about 60. Let's see if I can secure that a little better. The tire holders on this setup table aren't big enough to hold Gladiator on here. It's 40. It's 45. It's 50. Front end is 55. Front end is not unloading whatsoever. We are still hanging on. 60. Oh, right there. It's about 63 before we lost it. So that's the benefits of a limiting strap right there. Why don't we get to installing and messing with some stuff? So what I'm really excited about, I want to try this new servo. So I'm going to install this servo in our Ultra 24 build. So let's get to work. Servo installed. What I ended up doing was using an aluminum mount that I had on hand. And I got it in there, as you can see, if you can see that. It's not ideal because there's still a big amount of space in between the ears of the servo and the mounting points in the servo mount. So you are going to need an updated servo mount for this thing. Now, Little Guy Racing Parts does sell their own mount with these. There is a billet aluminum option or a 3D printed option. I've got no mount here from those guys. I just opted to use what I had. In hindsight, I wish I had gotten their mount because it would have made the fit much cleaner. So I would strongly encourage you to go with the Little Guy Racing Parts mount if you're going to buy this servo. Other mounts like the Mofo RC best servo mount ever would also work really well, although that's really wide. I think Samix also makes one that would work really well. You just want to make sure you've got one that's big and that's flat in the back so that this thing can slide over your linkage, because it's really long. The body is long. That's what I was running into for fitment issues. But nonetheless, I got it in there. I put some Reefs servo tape underneath here to hold it down, and it's bolted in there just fine. Got the aluminum horn on there. Looks great. Fitment is excellent. It is hooked up. I've got this running on the FurryTech system at 6.5 volts. So let's see what it looks and sounds like with this setup. It's definitely fast. This thing will wiggle its way right across the mat if I want to do it. Let's see, it's nice. Definitely nice and strong. I've got some other high performance servos here. Why don't we do a quick comparison of the three here? I've got the Mighty Chihuahua from CCXRC in the Gladiator build over here, and we've got the NSDRC RS100 in the Warthog chassis. So these are some heavy hitters here. We're going to put the Little Guy Racing parts against these in terms of speed and sound. So I'm going to cut to that now. I'm not going to talk. We'll just let the servos do the talking. You guys can check it out. So what do you guys think of the comparison? So I think the Tremor held its own there. Definitely anecdotally feels like it's got plenty of power in comparison to these other two heavy hitters. It is a little bit more noisy than the other two, I would say, but when it's under load against my hand or anything like that, there's no buzzing or anything like that. It is quiet under operation like that. It's only when you're hammering back and forth, it's a little more noisy than the other two. What we can do real quick, we can put this thing on the course and just see how this servo performs in kind of real world conditions. We can really see it in action on the course. So why don't we cut to that now? Now let's see the Tremor in action in the Punisher build. We haven't had this thing out for a while. It's good to see it back on the course. Right off the bat, that Tremor servo looks super gnarly in there. Really fits the character of the build. That big blacked out aluminum horn in there. This thing is so nasty. Forgot how much I like this thing. Now this is running the Little Guy Racing parts, Super 8 axles with the CVDs up front, so it's got an impressive turning radius on this thing. So the combination works really good. I feel like it's got really tight steering and is really responsive. See, it's got a really sharp turning angle up there. Get into some of these tight spots, we can see this thing. It's good. Navigate it through there. I like it. Good addition to the build. Oh, this thing is so mean. I forgot how mean this thing was. Yeah, this fits the build really well. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the video today. I hope you enjoyed this exclusive look at some of these new Little Guy Racing Parts products. Now a couple of these are available online on their website. I'll link them in the description down below. The tires and the limiting strap will be coming soon. It's mid-March right now, so I think we're still 2 to 5 weeks out depending on the product to get these into your guys' hands. But I'm really pumped I was able to get my hands on them, demo them for you guys. Like I said earlier, Little Guy Racing Parts, man, they are just on the gas over there, really innovating, really bringing us some great products and elevating the SCX24 and the mini crawler market in general with these great upgrades. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the upgrades. As always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned. I'm going to be building out some more Little Guy Racing Parts builds in the near future. The Ripper is going to be coming very soon, and we're going to be incorporating some of these parts as well as some more upgrades that you have not seen yet. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video.